Hi, it's Angela, and you are listening to Divinely Connected. You are here for your weekly forecast from August 11th through to the 17th. It is Mercury retrograde, so if you find yourself being a little confuffled, having to redo, reorganize, restart, and retreat, you are not alone. Make sure that you have patience and compassion for yourself through this time, as well as others. Remember, whether they believe in this or not, they are affected by the shifts and the changes. All right, let's get into the weekly guidance. We have 5 cards pulled. I have them in front of me face down. Just realized we have a double card that's pulled as well. So I'm excited to see what is coming in and what it is that we need to know moving forward. Okay. Because there is shifts and changes coming in, planetary, like we said, Mercury is in retrograde, that can bring in an increased probability or increased opportunity for spiciness, some irritation, some miscommunication, some wires getting crossed. And so it's really easy to go into ego and to um kind of ride that discontent or disapproval. The truth of the matter is, because Spirit just kept on like relieving that type of tension and upset, it is this type of feeling of like, you have to let it go. Do not waste your peace of mind on these inconveniences, right? There's almost this feeling of choosing to protect your peace here. And that's going to be something that's really important. There's also this feeling as well as expecting the worst, and yet the Chariot card comes out, which is showing that rewards are around the corner. And so there may need to be, in multiple ways, the desire or the necessity for you to be on top of your emotional regulation, because it does seem to be that emotions are erupting this week, especially within the first 3 days. It almost feels like a lot of tension is coming to a point, and so wanting to not only give yourself the permission to feel what it is that you're feeling, but giving yourself the permission to let it go. You know what? There's just some days that you don't have to be right. You don't have to be validated outwardly. You can always just validate yourself and choose peace here, because a lot of it is unnecessary and mostly inconvenient, is the feeling that's coming in. And so, do you want to increase that? Up in an uproar type of energy for yourself, or do you want to promote peace within yourself? I think that's going to be a question that you're going to be asking yourself a lot the first couple of days of this week. Now, there does seem to be some mending, some new and some learning opportunities, specifically with relationships coming in. There's almost like this, like I'm new at it type of feeling that's coming in. This can be becoming parents. This can be being in a new relationship. This can be expanding your family or interacting with in laws or learning new roles within the relationship. Maybe you are being promoted from mom to grandmom, and now we need to find our rhythm with being a grandparent and what is needed for love and support from that role versus the role of a parent. Okay. There's also seems to be a little bit of a learning curve. Some relationships may be dissolving. Maybe you are out on your own for the first time. Maybe you are an empty nester for the first time. Maybe you're single for the first time in a long time. There's this learning curve that's coming in within relationships. Now, looking back to the first messages and how miscommunications are at a higher probability this week, you want to be mindful with communications, especially if you are in these new roles or in these learning curves within relationships. This feeling of jumping to the gun is going to be more hurtful than useful. And so, giving the benefit of the doubt, kind of lessening those walls, I think is going to be So much more beneficial to you this week than ruling with an iron fist. Okay. So flexibility is certainly on your side. Understanding that everyone is just doing the best that they can with where they're at, whether we agree with where they're at or not, right? That's that personality of us, that's that ego part of us. But in truth, even for those that we disagree with where they're at or maybe their life choices, they are doing what they feel is best for them, right? And so giving that benefit of the doubt, I think, is going to help keep that peace and harmony within, especially within relationships, especially within communications, and having that flexibility and accepting the role that you play in this experience is going to be very beneficial for you. This need to be in control, this need to be critical or to point out answers, opportunities, directions, it really doesn't feel like it is your place. And so there does need to be a reflection, especially with relationships, of what is your place here. Okay. And understand that when we cross those boundaries, that they can be harmful and that they can damage relationships, even when you have the best of intentions. And keeping this in mind as you're moving through this week, there's a lot, retrograde is presenting a lot of time for reflection. And that's going to be, if you take that opportunity, that is going to be the best thing that you can do for yourself this week. Okay. There does seem to be an ending by choice this week, releasing people, places, and things that no longer serve you. This is bringing in a lot of harmony within you and within your family. Okay. And so not only are you reaping the benefits of these endings coming in, again, we can be outgrowing people, places, things, hobbies, habits, mindsets, routines, environments, etc. This shift is such a blessing. Okay. And again, coming in with that message of flexibility. Now, there does seem to be some rigidness within you that focusing on the negative or your natural personality reacts to change in this negative mindset, expecting the worst. Because that is the reaction to the discomfort that change brings. There does also need to be a mindset change there because it's creating a lot of disharmony within you. It's creating a lot of mental work, worry, and fear that is just unnecessary. It's unfounded. I understand how this can bring up your anxiety, but you have to remind yourself and use your intuition and allow that to regulate because there does seem to be a quick shift coming in this week and maybe flexibility isn't your strong suit. I'm giggle because it's not mine. I'm learning every day to be more loosey goosey. But there is this feeling of being flexible and being able to go with the wind is really just so beneficial this week. Okay. There's nothing that you cannot do, especially when this amazing opportunity presents itself because you feel overwhelmed and you feel unsure about it because you don't know if you're ready and you don't know if you can. And you absolutely can. You absolutely can. Now, this is letting go of a life that once was, right? A mindset, an opportunity, an experience, and welcoming in the new. You have been working all of 24 to get here, picking away at internal upheavals, healing generational dysfunction, being willing to do your shadow work. It has not been an easy 8 months. And so being flexible, using this retrograde for time of reflection, being willing to reassess and replan is going to be so helpful for you to moving forward. There you are taking this opportunity, but there's still time. You're not rushing it. Okay. And so again, keep this in mind because a lot of the times if we get overwhelmed, we shut down. If we get overwhelmed, we automatically say no. If this path is meant for you, then it's meant for you. And you're going to be able to negotiate. You're going to be able to be flexible. You're going to be able to communicate what it is that you need so that you can take advantage of this opportunity. And keeping that open mind instead of so quick to judge, so quick to react, to so quick to get all up in arms, keep yourself grounded, count to 5, sleep on it if you can, moving out of this knee jerk, moving out of this automatic impulse reactions is really in the forefront for the rest of 2024. Moving ahead with more intention. We have been hearing that for months. And so learning to slow it down, understanding that you don't have to go 100 miles an hour to get where your path is taking you. Your path is coming in and continuing forward in the perfect timeline and in the perfect speed that is for you. So keep that in mind moving forward. All right. Enjoy this week, and I will be back next Sunday with your weekly guidance.